Here's how to do Sigma from Overwatch. Tricky. First, you're an older man. Sink that voice down into the throat and chest area. The resonance should be happening right here. You've seen a lot and you've done a lot, and it should sound that way in your voice. Second, don't go German. Go Dutch. The S's are softer, like understand becomes understand. The S is in the back of the teeth. Third, add a little bit of the scientific explanation bounce. The people around you don't necessarily know what they're talking about. Fourth, get really excited when the radio turns on.
What is that melody?
How to do Cassidy's voice from Overwatch. First, take your soft palate and bring it down. It should kind of come a little bit in your way. You get kind of an Alan Rickman sort of feeling from it. Step 2 is you add that grit in there. Now, not a whole lot of grit, not like an orc, but just a little bit of grit to make it sound like maybe you smoked a few packs. Step 3 is add that southern accent, that gentlemanly southern charm that kind of makes you want to lay back right before I put a bullet in your head. Step 4, be an incredibly handsome man like Matt Mercer. And step 5, tell the time. It's high noon. How to do Junkrat from Overwatch. First, position is all the way up here behind the nostrils. Second, the growl in here is all in the top of the throat. Third, add an Aussie accent, so the word payload now has an R in it. And fourth, make sure everything is just too funny. How to do Reaper from Overwatch. First, mouth position. Everything is through clenched teeth, and even when you open for vowels, it's not very much. Second, the growl. It happens in the uvula position of the throat all the way on the top. Third, don't speak very loudly at all. Fourth, add processing. Fifth, tell people what to bring to a Dungeons & Dragons session. Die, die, die. How to do Reinhardt's voice from Overwatch. First important thing is that grit.
You add it all by putting it all the way in the very, very back of your throat. Second is put the space in it that should be filling up your cheeks with air. Third, add a German accent for it, because it's now even scarier. And fourth, tell people what to do with their tools. Put the hammer down!
How to do Torbjorn from Overwatch. First, this voice is sort of in the front towards the nose.
It may not sound like it, but it's all in here. You hear how there's a tightening here going on. Second of all, you got to add the Swedish accent, which actually it sounds a little bit Scottish if you're not listening very carefully. Third, add a little bit of that boisterousness. You should hear it go up and down. Fourth, give people proverb advice. It's better to be the hammer than the nail.
Here's how to do Zenyatta from Overwatch. First, the resonance is all behind the nose on this one. It's all the way up in the top of your head. Second, enunciate your words. It should almost sound mid-Atlantic, kind of like Obi-Wan from the original Star Wars trilogy. Third, add breathiness to it. You're very Zen-yatta. Fourth, add processing. Ring modulation is a good start. Fifth, tell people directions in a flower garden. Pass into the iris. How to do Wrecking Ball from Overwatch, the one on top of the robot. First, enter your falsetto. It's this one. It sounds a little bit like a Mickey Mouse, but in this case, it's a hamster. Second, take your soft palate and push it all the way up in your mouth, as far as you can go. It sounds like you're sucking on a helium balloon, right? Third, be totally unintelligible. And fourth, do something unexpected.
Area denied. My turf.
How to do Roadhog from Overwatch. Not easy for a mid-sized guy like me. Step 1, drop it all the way down to the floor as much as you can get. Lots of air in there as well. Number 2, use your tongue and cheeks to create a chamber where everything sounds like it's just a little bit too big.
Third, add processing, because you just can't get that low without it. Fourth, the evil laugh. Idiot.
How to do Soldier 76's voice from Overwatch. First, be the nicest guy in the world because that's Fred Tatasciore. Second, bring your voice all the way down in your chest. It should sit right about here. You feel it vibrating right at the very, very base of your throat. Third, act very tired about things because you've been at war for probably 300 years and it's just time to move on. And fourth, give the worst recruitment line you could possibly give. We're all soldiers now. Okay, this is how I would do Brassius's voices if Pokemon Scarlet had voices. This dude's a little bit unhinged. He's got the wide eyes with bags under them. He hasn't slept in a while, so he's a little on edge. He's angry. He's always pulling at his hair. So he's just frustrated with the idea of being artistic and no way to let it out. He uses words incorrectly like avant-garde, even though that's not what that means. But ultimately, he's an artist, so you must have that little bit of dramatic flair. the patterns of your moves, the minute details of your Pokemon's performance. It's brilliant.
Okay, if I was gonna do a voice for Larry from Pokemon Scarlet, this is how I'd do it. He's got those droopy eyes, right? So you kind of want to lay back a little bit. You don't want to give too much energy. He's very bored. But at the same time, he's wearing a suit and tie, so he has to be a little bit on the professional side. Again, we're leaning towards boring. Get those eyes very closed, like you're almost falling asleep. He talks about his boss all the time, so maybe a little bit more deferential towards authority. Reading that script like he's a telemarketer. Thank you for doing business with us today. I, Larry, will be at your service. If you get that soft palate to get in your way a little bit, you get that really lazy tone. And that's how I would voice Larry from Pokemon Scarlet if I got the job. Here's how to do Nigel Thornberry from the Wild Thornberries. We're throwing back today. First, this voice actually kind of comes all the way to the front. There's a little bit of a nasaliness to it, and it's also quite high. It comes right here. You sort of feel it sitting right behind your nose. Second of all, there's a drunkenness almost to it where it's up and down, and there's a little bit of a tightening everywhere, especially when he says the word smashing. Third, give it that sort of you almost think it's Winston Churchill / I don't know, Theodore Roosevelt sort of accent. And fourth, just send people. Tally-ho! All right, here's how to do Victor Sullivan from Uncharted. I love this guy's voice. It's fantastic. It's like Tommy Lee Jones, but with more attitude. So if you kind of keep that in your head, that's a good place to start. First, he's all the way down in his chest, as many of these guys are. He's just very relaxed. He's all down here. Nothing should be up in the cranium here. Second, you gotta lay him back. Lay him way, way back. Even though he's out there doing a bunch of stuff, he's always relaxed about it. Third, add a little bit of this relaxation happening in the cheeks and the jowls and the back of the throat. He's always kind of dipping down into this level right here, where it's not quite ready to be coming out, but it comes out anyway. And fourth, give some really heartfelt advice. We don't get to choose how we start in this life. Real greatness, it's what you do with the hand you dealt. How to do Chamber from Valorant. First, position is very natural, but there's a rasp. It's very slight from the back of your nose. A little bit of that air pushing a little too hard. Second, add a little bit of a French accent. Not too much. It's very tasteful, like most things French. Third, have some of that cocky swagger, because after all, you are French. You're better than everybody. And fourth, tell people what happens when your little brother steals your Nintendo Switch. They are so dead! Here's how to do Claude from Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I don't know. Be me? How to do Licorice Cookie from Cookie Run Kingdom. First, the position should be all the way up, right behind your nose. Nothing down here in the chest at all. Second, just a little bit touch of grit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Third, add some neuroticism to it, where things are all over the place, going up and down, breaking into the falsetto whenever you feel like it's a little bit appropriate. Fourth, be scary, but also cute. Fifth, call for your pet. Schwarzwalder! Where have you gone off to this time? How to do Price from Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Step 1, the voice goes all the way down into your chest. There's a lot of rumble happening here. Nothing up here at all. Step 2, add that sexy accent. It's a little bit like Jason Statham with his glottal stops, but not quite. Step 3, when you get loud, it's really, really phlegmy. Step 4, tell people what you're gonna do if you're dating two people who both name Maggie. Switching mags! How to do Soap from Call of Duty Modern Warfare. First, the voice range is actually pretty medium. You're not this big giant hulking guy, and you're not like a weasel either. Right in the center. Second, you take that great little accent and throw it on there, because it's just perfect. Third, you're in war, so try to get a little bit of the grit in there when you're talking. And fourth, tell people what you're gonna do when the music comes on. Get down! How to do Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption. First, you're gonna add a little bit too much air, like it's hard to get the words out, maybe because you've been smoking for 30 years. Then, you add a little bit of that Texas grit and accent in there as well. The air pushing it out makes that, really just sells that Texas accent. Third, dirty it up a little bit. You don't want it to come out sounding like you practiced everything. And fourth, say something really obvious about an outdoor sport. You, sir, are a fish. How to do Fiddlesticks voice from League of Legends. For this one, you're breathing backwards. Instead of it's ah. You're drawing the air across your vocal cords in the wrong direction. It is stressful. Don't do it for long. Second, mix it up. Sometimes high. Sometimes low. Third, mix up high and low. Also mix up in and out. For in, out. Always keep it very airy. Fourth,
Add processing.
Fifth, sing a nice children's song.
Fiddlesticks, end of men. Fiddlesticks, first of 10.
Here's how to do Caustic from Apex Legends. Caustic is very relaxed. You can hear him kind of being tired with everything. There's not a whole lot of energy behind his voice, even though he's talking about killing people. Sink it all the way down in your chest. It should sort of rumble. He's casual, but he speaks with a large vocabulary, so his enunciation is actually quite precise. Next, add processing. Just a little bit of echo. He's got that mask on. Last, be very casual about death. The kill is more important than the prize. All right, here's how to do Revenant from Apex Legends. Step 1, you cheat a little bit. You know that this voice actor is Darren DePaul, who is not a big-chested, deep voice actor, so you know there's a lot of processing involved, so it's important to get the attitude right, not the pitch. Step 2, you do realize that he does have some rumble, which means the voice is in the chest, which means he's also probably close to the microphone for all of it. He may project a little bit, but for the most part, he's quite quiet. Third, adapt an attitude that's a little bit on the tired side. He loves the battlefield, but he's also been alive a long time. Fourth, now we add the processing.
Pitch it down, add a little bit of reverb and echo, and you'll sound just like him. And 5, express what all dads think when they're putting their kids to bed. You can rest now. I never will.
Here's how to do Ghost from Modern Warfare 2. First, get that British accent on there, but make it a little bit low class. It's not like Price. Price is sort of, not posh, but a little more formal. Ghost has got a little bit of that lilt in there that's not quite Cockney. You're not going to go all the way out there, but it's something a little bit in the middle. So don't go straight British RP. Somewhere in the middle is great. Second, there's a little bit of a pinch behind his nose. You can hear it when he's shouting, but it's not always there. Third, add that gruffness because he's a soldier and he's ready to kill anybody. Fourth, add processing because he's always got that bloody mask on. Fifth, make capture the flag a little too intense. Both teams meet in the middle. But remember, this is capture or kill. Here's how you do Omen from Valorant. First, the volume of the voice is very, very low. It should almost feel like you don't quite have enough air for it. Sink it all the way down. Second, every once in a while there's some rasp at the top of the throat where your uvula touches the back of your mouth.
Third, add some processing. Pitch it down. A chorus, maybe some EQ. Fourth, tell people how to vote in political elections. Make the right choice, even if it calls for sacrifice.
Here's how to do Rykard from Elden Ring. Super weird guy, but that's why they call him the Lord of Blasphemy. I don't know. First, the mouth. There's lots of sag going on here, and it's quite random. So adding a little bit of jowls to the speech adds that little last touch. Second, the growl. There are sorts of parts of the voice that don't normally vibrate, especially when it comes up to your soft palate and your uvula. So there's a sort of choking of all that weird fleshy mass that's in the back of your throat. Third, his rhythm is all over the place. It's not natural. Fourth, suggest a very strange dinner. Now we can devour the gods together. What voice should I do next?